All right. Okay. Please mute Discord. Sorry. Please mute. And you can leave Discord, Socknick. Or ZoFiery, sorry. Let's go. All right. We're here at the finals of the annual Moshcraft Streamversary Tournament of Champions. They've battled through Cheese. They've battled through Kelly. They've battled through the tournament client, the most formidable foe of all. And here we are now with the grand finals between ZoFiery and Zocknicht. A grudge match that we've been waiting for a long time. Before the game starts, let's go to our analyst desk and see what they have to say. Here's my co-caster and analyst, Derp. Derp, what do you think about this? Would you like to sleep? Okay. Derp says that cheek scratches are the best. So that's what's happening.
Oh, how wonderful!
All right, so we see Zocknicht with Qs. They're they're pirates with non-golden with heat wave muzzle and truffle and Erendite. And they're queuing against the fires. Symbiosis. This actually should be an interesting matchup. Excuse me. What do you think, Dirk? No? So, okay, we see Raiding Fleet come out for the Dim and Light Longship. Puts a bleed on the Hamadryad. I assume we'll see... Oh, there's no Purify in hand. There's one in deck. They can call the forest into fob into Purify, which is what I would do. Since this is a Dryad. But instead, Aquan is chosen. Maybe that's a... Yeah, that's probably a better idea. You want to have your Aquan out. Sorry, I'm very new with Symbiosis. Derp has a lot more experience. So Zocknicht immediately attacks Aquan, uses Primal Savagery in conjunction with a leader charge. Take that Aquan and get to 19 to 7. Erendite's already at 3 points. And ZoFiery needs to get ahead by a lot to stop it from growing. Zocknicht still even has the Mask of Ouroboros to click on. It's a bit warm. All right, so rather than tutor out the Purify, they actually just get a Naiad, which counts as a nature card, which gives vitality to this Hamadryad. Zocknicht discards the Scald, it looks like. They decide they don't need it since they're on blue coin, probably. They can still get Compass. And this Rain has been doing some work here. This Naiad is now damaged, so the Dim and Light Longship has 3 armor, but that's the only unit that can gain armor. And ZoFiery actually passes at 7. Since they don't have Aquan, I guess they decided not to play. Interesting. It definitely stops the Erendite from growing. There is a Morkvarg in deck. And Berna is drawn with both skirms. Wow. This is very good for Zocknicht, I think. I mean, there's no Coral in hand, but That's still a lot of tempo for bleeding and growing Erendite, which is usually Erendite decks want to do that. Truffle is also in hand. Arcane Tome got mulliganed, and yeah, here comes Mushy Truffle,
Beautiful pair of legs, please.
because that can be used next round.
Mother Earth, I vow to my life. From you it came.
Hamadryad's played and given Vitality. ZoFiery is technically ahead right now, although not for Erendite purposes. Here comes Darren from Morkvark. That's going to be a lot of tempo. 10 points. Erendite is at 7. We have Axel 3 Eyes, Dim and Light Longship, Heatwave. Looks like ZoFiery is going to play the simplest here. Seems like a good choice. Double Harvest in the deck. Get ahead on tempo, hopefully.
You're dead already.
This moment, I've seen it already.
We have a Farseer and a Bowman, and both Sorks get boosted to 6, which means they can play Bountiful Harvests as well. Excuse me.
We shall do it my way.
Arcane Tome is drawn. Both scrims will get discarded, as expected. That's a lot of tempo. And Zoknick gets to 27 points. Sorry, NoGGforNetdecks. I'm calling them by their Twitch name. So what do you do here? A Sork does get ZoFiery ahead, and they do have a Bountiful Harvest in the graveyard they could replay through Forest Protector. There's nothing here as a threat to remove, so no reason to play a Rebuke. Yeah, looks like a Sork gets played, puts them ahead. And I expect this to be when Erendite is played. But Muzzle could also be played through Arcane Tome. Alternatively, you could just leader it and then ping it once with both. Instead, Muzzle is what's played. Now, ZoFiery has a Rebuke in deck they could play through this tome, along with some Circle of Lives, if they wanted to boost something specific. I expect them to do that. Since Zoknick only has 4 cards, you can expect them, and you know they have a Compass, it's unlikely for them to get value out of the tome if you send it back. So you probably want to play it here. And also, because in this turn, ZoFiery will be playing 2 cards, they're more likely to get ahead in tempo. Are we going to see the other Sork come down? That would not be... Well, yeah, if you play the Sork and then you play an Arcane Tome, you click on the Arcane Tome for something. Instead, Denied Pawnkeeper is played first to add another Symbiosis. That's actually smart. And then I suspect Arcane Tome will be played. Yes. Circle of Life. And it boosts the Sork again. That's, well, I guess there's not that many cards in units in ZoFiery's hand. There's only 2 or 4. So. Oh wow, ZoFiery plays... Wait, how did they get the Peller? They played Compass. Wow. But because they have Erendite, they can Okay. So they played Compass, grabbed the Peller, used the Peller to purify the Sork, and the Sork then played... They never clicked the Sork? Oh, does Zoknick not know that you can click the Sork? This is a visual bug, right? You should be able to click it. Wow. That could be game deciding, potentially. Zocnic's trying to decide if they want to play. They've already played Erendite, so now they're gonna decide. Sorry, not Zocnic, ZoFiery. It's ZoFiery's turn. They're down 6 points. Looks like all the forest is played for Itriel. And that will come down for 8 tempo and sorry, more than 8, 11 tempo. Gets them ahead. Zocnic immediately plays Axel and clicks the truffle, which oh, so they did click this. I just never, it just doesn't show up in the history for some reason. Oh, because it was the turn. I got confused. Okay, never mind. They purified it. Ignore everything I said about the visual bug. I just missed it on screen. And chat, thank you for pointing it out. Not. Chat is useless. You guys are always asleep. Wake up, chat. Ding dong. As Sam would say. ZoFiery plays the Forest Protector. And they get a Bountiful Harvest. What are they going to pick? The Farseer, Watcher, or Elemenseer? It's not going to be Watcher. Farseer is what's picked because the Bountiful Harvest first boosts a unit. And they are able to boost the other one by 1. Oh, but now Zocnic's actually ahead by 1 point. And they immediately pass. So they got their card back. Unfortunate for ZoFiery. They were so close to staying ahead. And this Zocnic will be getting Compass and Erendite back. Erendite's already at 13. That's going to be a very hard hill to climb. Alright, trying to decide what to play. Rebuke is unlikely to get much value. That's probably what I would play too. Yeah. Because next round, you know, you don't have Aquan, you don't have Symbiosis cards. You would just play for 5. Whereas this will be useful against a boat. Ranger a boat. The fire does draw Ithna, which is going to be an immune card. I'm wondering if there's anything that you can use Compass to do damage to it. I don't think there is. Dire Bear could be an option, but the fire could play around that, I think, somewhat. Oh, the Dragoon is mulligan. Interesting. Instead of the Circle of Life. That is surprising to me. Okay, Circle of Life is also mulligan. And second Rebuke is drawn. What were they looking for? Were they looking for Dunka? I guess so. I would have kept the Dragoon because you should know that there's light longship left. Maybe they want to go more uninteractive. I don't know. Zocnic immediately plays Fukusia, likely for Axel, just to keep Erendite growing. Yep. It's another point of armor here and here. The thing is, if Zocnic had stayed ahead in the previous round, they could go somewhat uninteractive here. I guess not really with this, but... And they don't have Tall Punish. Never mind. I'm not sure there's much they could have done. Perhaps fight harder for round 1. Or take Circle of Lights out of their decks. Relega is played. It was not played last round. When Itriel was on the board. Maybe Itriel was killed immediately. I don't remember what happened. Zocnic just drops the Moonlight Longship. This Erendite's at 15 now. There's even a heat wave here. Okay. Night Fledgling comes down. Boost the Ithna. That's immune points. I wouldn't be surprised if Zocnic just kills it with a leader charge here. This is the card that will generate value every time these other cards are played. Yep. Immediately kills it. nothing that ZoFiery could do. And ZocNick actually votes to Terror this Seas. You could rebuke it here. Probably your best option. Or you could play the Dryad's Crest, either one. I think Rebuke is better because ZocNick has to play Heatwave if he wants to get the extra point on Erendite. Hard to know though in the game in that moment exactly what these two cards are, but if you know, because that gave Heatwave value. If ZocNick was forced to play Erendite first because there was no tall target, if I haven't played Rebuke, then it would be slightly less points. But it was never going to matter. This Erendite's way too big. And ZocNick has last say. He's got 4 points here. He's got 17 here. And he picks the game comfortably with his Pirate Slave. Hey, Kidus Nix Exa. Okay. I think you should play. We're having I made a comment in chat because this was a conquest format tournament, but the finals were best of 5. So and there were bans, so you know. You know the bands and treat it. Regular conquest, or as Zoc said, you can just do. I think best of 3 makes the most sense, but there's another. Okay. Alright, both players have agreed to just keep it as a best of 3. So ZocNick cannot play Pirates anymore. And his Syndicate was banned, so next game will be Scoia'tael. Zoc's Scoia'tael deck is Guerrilla Tactics. It'll be interesting to see if ZoFiery plays Syndicate. Yes. Looks like that is the choice. This is the deck that was tier 1 last season, Pirates Cove with Seas. ZoFiery's updated it to with the 6th provision pulling the strings, and the shady vendors are now gone since they don't have the Blind Eyes tag anymore. ZocNick is playing a control Guerrilla Tactics list with Precision Strike and Milva and Madoc. There's also a Salve, I believe, yes. So lots of carryover with Salve and Red Sword and Madoc, which will come out when bombs are played. There's the Vanadane and Alyssa and Simlas. So the typical Vanadane Alyssa Simlas thing you see, but with Milva Madoc instead. Particularly the synergy with making the bomb means that when you use that, Milva comes out and Madoc. But in this instance here, You don't want to use Making a Bomb because the Milvo will just sit on the board and could potentially be yoinked or killed by ZoFiery. Pirate's Cove, if you guys don't remember, is used in a collusion deck because this leader gives you a Tide Cloak. And so you just need to have the other factions, the other gangs. Mutant Maker gives you 2 tags, Human, Firesworn, and Salamandra. And Bloody Good Friends gives you 2 other tags, Crown Splitter and Cut Up. So now you've got 4 tags. That means Pulling the Strings can yoink the Elven Swordmaster. Let's see what Zoknik does. This was pinged down to 5, so maybe a red sword comes out. I don't see anything else. Oh, they're playing Vanadane. Okay. They're red coin. They just want to get their Vanadane going and not worry about so much about this. So, oh, ZoFiery actually, instead of playing Pulling the Strings, plays Cleaver first, since Cleaver has Intimidate. Makes sense. They also spend immediately, and they still have this Crystal Skull. That's interesting. So Cleaver, I think, replaced Jacques. No, Jacques is still there. What did Cleaver replace in this list? King of Beggars, it looks like. ZoFiery is not running King of Beggars, instead running Cleaver. Cleaver gets Veil. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Heat Wave here. Because what else are you going to Heat Wave? But if Zoc wasn't, if NoGGforNetdecks was not planning on contesting round 1 anyway, they might choose to save the Heat Wave. Dimeridian Bomb is played instead, which thins Madoc out, and ooh, that's a sexy yoink. Yeah, there you go. Immediately Madoc is yoinked with Pulling the Strings. Good patience by ZoFiery to not waste the Pulling the Strings on Elven Swordmaster like I would have. I have very little self-control. I see a thing I want, I yoink it immediately. Cool. NoGGforNetdecks. I'm just gonna call him Zoknik because that's what I know him as. Plays a Waylay with Vanadane on board. That plays for 9 and takes out the Bloody Good Friends, which had been pinged down to 3. That denies Cleaver the Crown Splitter pocket, so it's now getting 2 points per crime. Still, it's at 14. Another Waylay is played. The Swordmaster is clicked. And Zoknik is within 1 point of ZoFiery. ZoFiery has another poison card though. That will take out the Vanadane, but not after it's already done its job. Both put 2 cards at the bottom, create 2 Waylays, and add an extra 6 points from those 2 Waylays. Okay, Fistic Traffic comes down 27 to 16. I also found it interesting that Zoknik did not play the red sword on the Bloody Good Friends. Perhaps they're waiting to use it on. They also didn't use it on Meat Maker, which is ammo part target. So what are they saving it for? Maybe for Tunnel Drill. Is there a Tunnel Drill? Yes. Maybe that's what they're saving it for. Or just red coin abuse, playing low provision cards and, you know, things that you want to play in round 1 anyway. Okay, Heat Wave comes down and then Leader Charge is used to get ahead. Now Zoknik is threatening to win on even. And looking at ZoFiery's hand, we got Siggy Mastermind, Horson Senior, and Hamilfart. These two kind of go together. Yeah, if I'm ZoFiery, I play Pirate's Cove. I click 1 leader. Get an extra gang. Now we have 3 gangs. And then you play... Oh. Still don't have enough to... Because they only had 1 coin. I don't think they contribute, so... They only get to pick 1 card from here. And what card is that going to be? Wait. Oh, they play Bank. Interesting. I'm sorry, they didn't have 1 coin. They had 4 coins. So rather than playing Siggy Mastermind, they just
mouth, any hole will do.
play Fistic Trafficker and choose not to spend the coins.
I trust no one. Never have.
Yeah, I was wondering if that would happen. So Zochnik immediately kills the Tide Cloak because they know that that's a gang, a unique gang. Now we only have 2 gangs. ZoFiery could lead her again, but then they'd have no way to get Tide Cloaks later on other than these Ransackers. I think ZoFiery is very hesitant to play Mastermind, but when I was playing this deck, I found that it's often perfectly fine to play Mastermind round 1 because it thins your deck. As long as you have enough ganks for a good collusion, whether you have this or not doesn't really matter. This combo is more important, in my opinion. But ZoFiery decides to take the loss on even instead and defend the bleed, which is bound to happen when. Especially since Zochnik hasn't even played the Red Sword yet. I missed what they mulliganed, actually. And I was looking at it, but my brain didn't register what was mulliganed. ZoFiery gets the second pulling the strings.
May your sword and arm
Zochnik
be one.
plays the Elven Swordmaster. It's a proactive kind of play. This Red Sword could be used on a junior too. Yeah. Because junior is how you answer that, but now it's going to get red sworded. Well, no, because Zochnik's deck is not Devotion. The junior can only be used against a boosted card. No, still what gets selected. Okay. Palms of Fiery, I play Eventide Plunder here. See what tags we get. Oh, Hamilfart comes out instead. You should spend here and get a Mutant Maker out too. There's no reason not to, because this Hamilfart might die. Looking at Zochnik's hand, we know that's not going to happen, but
Splendid crops this year, and ever they shall be.
there's no reason not. Like, the potential 1 extra coin carryover is not worth the risk of this dying and you not getting that extra tag. I guess you can do it now and then pulling the strings, because that would be a 3. No, that would be 2 tags. So you'd have to click this. Okay. Senior comes down. That's a big commitment. Or not commitment, because they're defending a bleed, but that's a lot of power. I guess they didn't want to. I'm assuming what ZoFiery was thinking is, oh, I don't want to play Eventide Plunder without getting value from my. Which makes sense, especially if you think you're going to get bled very deeply. I know there's no Simless here. Well, technically this could play Simless. But okay, Alyssa comes down, just puts the Waylays back.
Toppled, and beneath it a scorpion revealed.
There's no reason not to play Lady Lake for at least 1 Oniro. I guess when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking Zoknik won't go all in with Simless, but there's no reason.
The anatomical changes slightly
We
exceed
don't
my
know that.
expectations.
I'm getting a little worried that ZoFiery wants to play Siggy Mastermind here. But really, it should just be the pulling the strings. Because it's 2 tags here, 1 tag here, so that's 3. Should easily be enough. Just yoink this before Zoknik gets any value from it. Yeah, there it is. He immediately procs it as well, and 4 damage is done. I don't see Zoknik putting anything else into this round other than like a nothing card just to threaten. There you go. Okay. Little Bird was mulligan. That's very interesting. Maybe they were looking. Oh, they already had 1 Little Bird. Okay, but 2 Little Birds are still good. Red Sword was mulligan by Zoknik. They could still get it back out through Lady of the Lake, though. In fact, that's their only target, so. Eventide Plunder is played by ZoFiery. Probably going to be for the failed experiment. It's the Salamandra, and it has synergy with... Well... Nothing, actually, other than Salamander. However... Making a Bomb is played, it does 4 damage. Making a Bomb plus Milva is able to remove 6. Okay, Making Bomb is 4, Milva does 1. And it comes out in 1 underclick. Yeah. And then that also gets solved to come out. So. I don't think you click this, because this is kind of like Flying Redanian. It will come back out. Sea Jackal's played to avoid making the bomb. Doing that again, but the other making a bomb is in the deck. So far, of course, can't see that, but that's good to play around. Of course, the downside is that now this is exposed. So one of the strengths of Pirate's Cove is that you can click this and then play something that requires a gang in the same turn. Instead, Zoknik just kills the Tunnel Drill using a combination of Leader with the Milva ping and the Dolbathana Bowman. So Bowman plus Milva can kill a 6 usually, but since this was the last Leader charge, we just Zoknik just leaves the Milva floating. This is also a Salamander, so I expect it to come down. Since we know Zoknik's deck doesn't have anything that we'd want to purify. Alternatively, Little Bird could come down and boost the Jackal by 2, but that doesn't seem to be doing much. I would play the Lackey first here. Because now all that happens is it's exposing the Little Bird to getting killed. We're going to lose a tag anyway. I'd rather Zoknik waste removal on this card, which is just a tag, rather than this one, which is a tag and a Spectre. In fact, this is a perfect Lady of the Lake into Red Sword opportunity, I think. Maybe not. Maybe he's waiting to have a boosted unit on ZoFiery's side, and ZoFiery smartly has not boosted anything yet, because they don't want to give Junior value. Yeah, right. I played this deck. This is, Zoknik's deck. It's in the spreadsheet, if you look a few patches ago. Yes, Olger. We did this tournament open deck list.
Show you.
Milva ping, and then the Jackal was down to 3, which means Junior could finish it with Insanity.
How else am I to pay my
Here comes the
tuition?
Salamander Lackey, and now, what's Onira gonna be? Oh, Onira's for Gord. Interesting decision to go for Gord first, rather than Simless. Does this give the poison? Well, Zokhnik knows now there's no way to for ZoFiery to poison. Fire gets to play Jacques. Gonna pay the tribute.
The ideal
Gets a 25 out of 26. Yeah, Zokhnik's gonna play Simless into Waylays.
You are no lumen of mine.
If I'm to die, I'll do so sword in hand.
And that's game number 1. Sorry, game number 2.
Racists.
Which is the end of the series since both players have agreed to do a best of 3. Zokhnik takes the series in a dominant fashion. In fact, the whole tournament, I believe. Let's take a quick look. At the bracket. As you can see, Zokhnik 2-0, 2-0, and then this series just ended 2-0 as well. The tournament was set to best of 5, but I'm gonna join this and then close it to make that alert go away. I'm just gonna give the wins to just put them here to end the series. Okay. Congratulations to Zokhnik on winning the first annual Moshcraft Streamiversary Tournament of Champions. Congratulations, sir. Type exclamation prize to see what you have won. Go on. Type it. There you go. 1 lifetime sub to Moshcraft on Twitch, and 1 free hair flip at a time of your choosing.